Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Krishna Rukmini, Jaya Satyabhama, Krishna Rukmini, Jaya Satyabhama, Jaya Krishna. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Damodara, Jaya Damodara, Damodara, Jaya Damodara. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Mishvat, Paramahansa Parivrajakateresho, Tarisata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jaya Mishvat, Paramahansa Parivrajakateresho, Tarisata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्री श्री कृष्ण रुक्मिणी सत्यभामा की जय। श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की जय। श्री दामोदरा की जय। श्री श्री गौरनिताय की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 25, Text number 8. Tasya tvam tamasaha andhasya tasya tvam tamasondhasya tasya tvam tamasondhasya dushparasya adya paragam dushparasyadya paragam dushparasyadya paragam sat chakshuh janmanam ante satchakshur janmanam ante satchakshur janmanam ante labdham me tvat anugrahat labdham me tvadanugrahat labdham me tvadanugrahat tasya tvam tamasondhasya dushparasyadyaparaga Satchakshurjanmanamante labdham me tvadanugrahat tasya tvam tamasondhasya dushparasyadyapāragam Satchakshurjanmanamante labdham me tvadanugrahat. Tasya that tvam you tamasaha ignorance andhasya darkness dushparasya difficult to cross adya now paragam crossing over sat transcendental chakshuhu eye janmana of births ante at the end labdham attained may my tvat anugrahat by your mercy. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Your Lordship is my only means of getting out of this darkest region of ignorance, because you are my transcendental eye, which by your mercy only I have attained after many, many births. Kindly repeat. Your Lordship is my only means of getting out of this darkest region of ignorance, because you are my transcendental eye, which by your mercy only I have attained after many, many births. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. This verse is very instructive, since it indicates the relationship between the spiritual master and the disciple. The disciple or conditioned soul is put into this darkest region of ignorance, and therefore is entangled in the material existence of sense gratification. It is very difficult to get out of this entanglement and attain freedom. But if one is fortunate enough to get the association of a spiritual master like Kapila Muni or his representative, then by his grace one can be delivered from the mire of ignorance. The spiritual master is therefore worshipped as one who delivers the disciple from the mire of ignorance with the light of the torch of knowledge. The word Paragam is very significant. Paragam refers to one who can take the disciple to the other side. This side is conditioned life. The other side is the life of freedom. The spiritual master takes the disciple to the other side by opening his eyes with knowledge. We are suffering simply because of ignorance. By the instruction of the spiritual master, the darkness of ignorance is removed, and thus the disciple is enabled to go to the side of freedom. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita that after many, many births, one surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Similarly, if after many, many births, one is able to find a bona fide spiritual master and surrender to such a bona fide representative of Krishna, one can be taken to the side of light. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namavo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prayasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mokam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Sri Gurum Deenataranam. Recently, one politician made a statement. He said that if his party comes to power in the state of Tamil Nadu, he will remove the statue of Periyar from which has been installed in front of, I think, Srirangam or some temple. So he said that Periyar is an atheist, so why his statue should be in front of temple? And if my party comes to power, we will have his statue removed. Immediately, there were a couple of parties, DMK, AIDMK, all these parties, they became offended and they said, he is our leader, how can you say such things? You have no idea about the contribution of such leaders to Tamil Nadu, this, that, and all those kind of, a lot of hue and cry raised. So this politician who initially gave the statement, he had to come back and issue a slightly modified version. He said, we will remove from in front of the temple and honorably we will install somewhere else. So, that way he tried to cool down the situation. The point is, why did the people get offended because of this statement that Periyar statue has to be removed? Why were they so upset and angry and made such a big noise about it that this other politician had to go and issue a clarification so that matters could be cooled down? Because Periyar for them, for these parties, DMK, AIDMK, etc., for them, Periyar is the leader. He is the Mahajana. He is the Mahajana for them. He is the person whose values, ideals, ideology these parties have accepted. And for them, he is like a Mahajana, a person to be highly respected. So this is true of not only of DMK, AIDMK. All other parties also you will see. Congress, for them, Jawaharlal Nehru is a Mahajana. For BJP, maybe Deen Dayal Upadhyay or somebody like that will be a Mahajana. And this is true not only in India. It's a phenomenon which is common all over the world. You look at the United States, for them Abraham Lincoln or Washington, these people are all Mahajanas. And this is true not only of politics. You take science, Albert Einstein, Isaac Newton, these are all Mahajanas for scientists. If anybody speaks belittling any of these personalities, immediately the entire scientific community will take affront and they will come out with various statements condemning anybody who speaks against these people. For them, these people are Mahajanas. For economists, there is somebody else. For industrialists, there is somebody else. For every field you see, there will be some people who will be considered as Mahajanas or leaders. Even in the field of religion, you will find even today, there are some people who are so-called sadhus. They have their own followers. And for all those followers, these people are Mahajanas. Anybody says anything against them, they will not be able to tolerate. Immediately they'll bring out videos and they'll troll the people whoever spoke in a condescending way about these personalities. So everybody in every field has his own Mahajana, his own leader, whom all these people follow. So Mahajana means his ideas, his concepts, his ideology, the followers adopt and follow. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is the description of the pastime of Ajamila. Ajamila was a very qualified Brahmana. He was following all the Vedic principles very nicely. Unfortunately, he fell into the association of a prostitute, because of which all his good qualities went away and he became a debauchee. He became a gambler, a thief, and a murderer. All these kind of things he got involved in. So big fall down for him. Eventually, when the time of death came for him, somehow during his youth, because he had rendered devotional service to Narayana, he remembered Narayana and started shouting the name of Narayana when the Yamadutas came to take him away. So at that time, the Vishnu Dutas came and stopped the Yamadutas from taking away Ajamila. So there was a conversation, argument between the two of them. Yamadutas said, "We don't know who you people are, but you seem to be very effulgent and powerful people." So they understood that these Vishnu Dutas are not ordinary people. So they asked them, the Yamadutas asked the Vishnu Dutas, "Why are you preventing us from taking this Ajamila away? Because he is a sinful man. And our Lord, Yamaraj, is the person who metes out justice to whatever reactions this person has to get according to the sinful activities he has done. So we have to take him to our master, Yamaraj. So why are you preventing us?" The Vishnu Dutas replied that because he has chanted the name of Narayana, now you have no jurisdiction over him. So we will take care of him. You please leave. So the Yamadutas also could not say anything. They also came away and they went back to Yamaraj. And they came in front of Yamaraj and they asked Yamaraj, "Oh my Lord, we were, in our understanding, when a person commits a crime, when a person commits sinful activities, there has to be one person to judge what reaction he has to get according to the activities he has done. So, and that person has to be the supreme person. If there are multiple judges, then one judge will give one judgment, he will give one kind of punishment. Another judge will negate it. Like we see in modern day courts, you go to the sessions court, he will give one judgment. You go to the high court in appeal, they will strike it down. So it will lead to conflicting decisions and one person's judgment will be struck down by another. So it will create big conflict in the management of this whole universe. Or what will happen is one person will give one punishment, another person will give another punishment on top of that. So it will become double punishment. So in our understanding, there has to be one judge, one supreme judge, one final authority to mete out, according to Dharma, whatever sinful reactions the living entity has to undertake because of whatever he has done in his life. And until now, the Yamaduta said, until now we were thinking that you, Yamaraj, are the topmost judge. You are the person who is the supreme authority in the matter of judging the living entities' punishments that they have to undergo according to the sinful activities of that living entity. But today we have seen that your power and authority was overridden by two people who are Vishnu Dutas. So how do we understand? Is there somebody higher than you? Because for us, you are the supreme person till now. So we are confused. Can you please educate us? Can you please enlighten us? The Yamadutas very humbly, in a very nice way, they put it forward before Yamaraj. So Yamaraj, in response, he instructed the Yamadutas, because the Yamadutas, they explained to Yamaraj. Like this, Ajamila was chanting Narayana, Narayana, and these Vishnudutas came and they stopped us from taking him away. And they said that simply because he has chanted Narayana's name, therefore he is no more under your jurisdiction. So, in our understanding, according to the rules you have told us, he is supposed to be punished, but these people have set aside that judgment. So, it is conflicting. So, if there are two judges acting on the same case, then it will lead to these kind of conflicts. So, that was their question. Yamaraj became very happy. Yamaraj did not become angry. He did not become upset. Oh, my authority has been overridden. Who are these people? No, he did not become angry. He became very happy. Why? Because he heard his servants, the Yamadutas, chanting Narayana's name. Yamaraj became very happy. And Yamaraj told the Yamadutas that Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam navai vidur rishayo na devaha na siddha mukhya asura manushyaha kutascha vidyadara charanadayaha. So, Yamaraj told the Yamadutas, Dharma, the principles of Dharma cannot be created by any ordinary living entity. The principles of Dharma have to be established. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. It has to be established directly by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nobody else can claim that I have created my own religion. No. Religion means, Dharma means, all the rules and regulations of Dharma have to come from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nobody can create Dharma on their own. And therefore, because Dharma, the rules of Dharma have been enunciated by the Supreme Lord Himself, what happens is, the real essence and the import of the Vedic scriptures of the following the Dharma cannot be understood by even great personalities like Siddha Mukhya, people who are rishis and yogis who have perfected the siddhis. Siddha Mukhya means those who are Siddha Purushas, those who have attained perfection in following yoga. We have Ashta Siddhis, 8 yogic Siddhis, Anima, Lagima, Prapti, etc. Somebody practices Ashtanga Yoga, he is supposed to ultimately achieve these 8 Siddhis. Such a person is called a Siddha Purusha. So Siddha Mukhya, the topmost of the Siddha Purushas, they also cannot understand the intricacies of Dharma. Na Rishayo, even the Rishis cannot understand. Even the Devatas cannot understand. Na Devaha. Even the Asuras cannot understand. Manushyas cannot understand. Vidyadharas, Charanas, all these residents of the upper planetary systems also, like the Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, etc., even they cannot understand the essence and the intricate instructions which are given in Dharma. What is the essence of Dharma? What is the final goal to be achieved, ultimate goal to be achieved by following Dharma? This is extremely confidential knowledge which is not available even to such great personalities. Forget about ordinary human beings like us. So, Guhyam Vishuddham Durbodham, that knowledge about the essence of the Bhagavata, Dharmam Bhagavatam Bhataha. So Yamaraj told his servants that, oh my dear servants, the essence of the following the Dharma is actually to come to the stage of Bhagavata Dharma. All following of Dharma has to eventually lead one to the position of Bhagavata Dharma. Bhagavata Dharma means devotional service to Krishna. So, Yamaraj said that Dharmam Bhagavatam Bhataha Guhyam Vishuddham Dirbodham Yam Jnatva Amritam Ashnute. That knowledge about Bhagavata Dharma, devotional service to Krishna, is Vishuddham. It is the purest of all knowledge. Vishuddham Guhyam, and it is the most confidential and Durbodham, very difficult to understand. But any fortunate living entity who comes to understand this, tam jnatva amrutam ashnute, he gets liberated and he gets eternal life in the spiritual world. So this is the nature of Dharma. Anybody and everybody cannot interpret Dharma, and it has to be the actual meaning of Dharma, the ultimate goal to be achieved by following Dharma, has to be enunciated by certain personalities who are known as Mahajanas. And Yamaraj listed 12 of them. Swayambur Narada Kapilo, Swayambur Narada Shambhu, Kumara Kapilo Manuhu, Prahlado Janako Bhishmo, Balir Vayasikir Vayam, Dvadasaite Vijanimo, Dharmam Bhagavatam Bataha. So Yamaraj told him, there are 12 personalities who are known as Mahajanas, and these 12 personalities know what is the essence of Dharma, which is rendering devotional service to Krishna. And who are the 12 personalities he listed? Brahma, Narada Muni, Lord Shiva, the 4 Kumaras, Sanat Kumaras, then Kapila Dev, the son of Devahuti, Swayambhuva Manu, who is the son of Lord Brahma, then Prahlad Maharaj, Janaka Maharaj, who is the father of Sita Devi, and Bhishma Dev, Bali Maharaj, who is the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj, Vayasiki or Sukadeva Goswami, the son of Vyasadeva, and Yamaraj himself. These are the 12 personalities who are known as Mahajanas, and anybody who is in the disciplic succession of these Mahajanas can also equally be considered a Mahajana, and such personalities alone can know what is the essence of Dharma. So, naturally the question will arise, but there are so many great personalities apart from these 12. There is Yajnavalkya, there is Patanjali, who has given the Ashtanga yoga system. There is Kanada, Jaimini Rishi, Gautama Rishi, also so many other rishis and sages are also there. Big philosophers are there. They are also considered Mahajanas in the society. But Yamaraj listed only these 12 people. Apart from these philosophers, there are also other Mahajanas, like I was mentioning. So many politicians, scientists, economists, industrialists, sportsmen, movie stars, for different kinds of people, all these are Mahajanas. So it's not that only these 12 people are Mahajanas, there are so many other leaders also in society. What about their views, their thoughts about the essence of Dharma? Somebody like Periyar, for instance. So what about all these people's views on Dharma? What about their ideologies? So about them, Yamaraj further spoke to the Yamadutas. He said, Prayena vai tadidam, na mahajanoyam. So all these Mahajanas, na veda tadidam, all these Mahajanas, other than these 12 personalities, they have no idea about what is the essence of Dharma. They may create their own ideologies, they may, in their particular field, in politics or economy or in whatever field they are in, they may be leaders, they may have thoughts and concepts and ideas which may be good for that particular community. But when it comes to the essence of Dharma, they have no idea. Somebody like Albert Einstein, he might have made great contribution to science and to society and to humankind. But if you approach Albert Einstein and ask him, and thinking that from him I will learn what is the essence, what is the ultimate goal of the human form of life, that you cannot understand from him. He will not be able to guide you. So, Prayena Veda Tadidam Na Mahajanoyam. Why these people, they are great leaders, great thinkers, why they cannot guide us about the ultimate goal of the human form of life? Because Devya Vimohita Matir Batamayayalam. Their mati, their intelligence, Devya Vimohitaha. It has been their intelligence has been bewildered. Bewildered by whom? Mayaya Devya, by the Maya Devi, by the external energy of Krishna, their intelligence has been bewildered. And therefore, they cannot understand what is the real essence of Dharma, what is the ultimate goal of the human form of life. And not only that, Trayam Jadikrita Madhupushpitayam Vaitanike Mahati Karmani Yujyamanaha. So somebody may say, okay, scientists, politicians, economists, these people, they may be bewildered by the illusory energy of Krishna. They may be attracted by how this material nature works and how the material world works. So they may be bewildered. But there are philosophers, great philosophers like Yajnavalkya and these personalities like Patanjali. And there is one, we have a society in India. And this society, they don't believe in deities and temples. So they don't visit any temples. For them, everybody, their followers, they have to perform yajnas. So they say performing yajna is the supreme goal of life. We have to perform yajnas. If we perform yajnas, then everything will be taken care of. And for them, that ultimate goal of life is to get liberated. That's all. Mukti we have to get by performance of yajna. That's all. And their followers, every day at their home, they have to perform an yajna. And even today, they keep organizing big yajnas and all these kind of things. So all these personalities, what about them? Yamaraj is telling that Vaitanike Madhupushpitayam, the Vedas and the Karmakanda portions of the Vedas, there are descriptions of the different kinds of yajnas that we can perform. And by performance of such yajnas, what happens? We are able to get various results. Even going up to Swargaloka, going up to the heavenly planets, where we can enjoy the wonderful facilities which we cannot even imagine of in this earthly planet. So, Yamaraj says, these people are so-called philosophers. Their intelligence has been taken away by the flowery words of the Vedas. Madhupushpitaya, the very nectarian words, flowery words of the Vedas, Vaitanike of the Vedas, their mind also has been taken away. Trayam Jadikrita. So the intelligence of these people, so-called followers of the Vedic scriptures, their intelligence has become dulled, Jadikrita. Their minds and their intelligence has become dulled. Because of it, they are not able to see that these Karmakanda portions of the Vedas are not the ultimate goal of human form of life. So, therefore, if one wants to understand the true ultimate goal of life, which one has to achieve by following the path of Dharma, then one has to come in the Guru Shishya Parampara of one of these 12 Mahajanas, either Brahma or Narada Muni or one of these Mahajanas. So like Srila Prabhupada, he is coming in the Guru Shishya Parampara stemming from Brahma. Brahma, Narada Muni, Veda Vyasa, all these are Mahajanas. So in that Parampara, Srila Prabhupada is coming, and therefore the knowledge which Prabhupada is giving is actual essence of the Vedic scriptures. And Prabhupada is an Acharya, he is a Guru, and therefore he is able to actually give, he is able to light the torch of knowledge in the hearts of the conditioned souls about what is the real ultimate goal of the human form of life. And therefore we say, Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So the Gautamiya Tantra, it gives this verse to explain how a spiritual master functions in the life of a disciple. A conditioned soul is Ajnana Timira Andhasya. He has been blinded by the darkness, dense darkness of the ignorance of the external energy of Krishna. Like all these philosophers, all these other Mahajanas, they are all blinded by the external illusory energy of Krishna or by the flowery words of the Vedas. They are all blinded. Devya Vimohita Matir, or they are Trayam Jadikrita Matir. Their intelligence has been completely bewildered. They are blinded either by the flowery words of the Vedas for those who are attached to following the Vedic Dharma and principles of Dharma, or there are others who may be atheists, who may reject the Vedic scriptures and all these kind of things. They may be scientists, big politicians, etc. But their eyes are also blinded by the illusory energy of Krishna. So we are all of us are blinded by the ignorance of created by the illusory energy of Krishna. Ajnana timirandhasya. And what kind of darkness? It is dense darkness. Timirandhasya. The densest darkness. Just like when it is Amavasya, what happens? There is no moonlight in the night. And then when you step out, suppose there are no street lights, there is a power blackout, step out on the street, it will be pitch black. And in Amavasya, you go inside a room which is completely sealed and has no windows, and you close all the doors, everything completely seal it off, then it will become pitch dark, dense darkness. You will not be able to see even your own hands and fingers. You will not be able to see anything. So that is the kind of darkness which is created by the illusory energy of Krishna, making us believe that I am the body, I have no independent existence of this body. We think I am the body and everything related to the body is mine. So this is Timirandhasya. So in this dense darkness of ignorance created by the illusory energy of Krishna, Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya. Shalaka means a torch or a lamp. The lamp of Jnana Shalaka, the lamp of knowledge is lit in our heart. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, by the spiritual master. So the spiritual master who comes in the Guru Shishya Parampara of one of these 12 Mahajanas is actually the person who is capable of lighting the lamp of knowledge, because he himself is not blinded by that ignorance. He is completely in knowledge. And therefore, that kind of Guru, like Srila Prabhupada, who is lighting the lamp of knowledge in our heart, is not an ordinary personality. You cannot find any Mahajana you approach in this material world, you cannot find anybody who can remove that darkness of ignorance caused by the illusory energy of Krishna. They may do something for the welfare of your body, which is also temporary. You are going to be in this body for maximum 100 years. After that, you have to give up this body and take on another body. So at that time, whatever good this Mahajana had done for you, it may not be applicable, it may act against you. So therefore, all these so-called Mahajanas, it may be religious leaders, it may be politicians, it may be scientists, it may be economists, any Mahajana you take in this material world, none of them can remove the veil of ignorance and light the lamp of knowledge in our heart. It is very, very rare to find a person who can light that lamp of knowledge. And that is why Sri Devahuti is saying here, Janmanamante, Satchakshur Janmanamante. So what we have to understand is, Satchakshur Bahunam Janmanamante. After many, many births, I am getting the eyes of knowledge. She is saying, you are my transcendental eye. So the spiritual vision is being obtained, Devahuti is saying, by her after many, many births. So it is very, very rare to get this transcendental vision, to be able to see that I am not this body, I am spirit soul, I am eternal, and I am eternal. Even though the body may die, I will not die. I will continue to exist. And I am part and parcel of Krishna. To get this knowledge is extremely rare. And how do you get this knowledge? This knowledge you can get only when you approach a bona fide spiritual master coming in the line of these 12 Mahajanas mentioned by Yamaraj. So therefore, such a personality is not an ordinary personality, and a disciple can never repay the debt to his spiritual master for lighting that lamp of knowledge in his heart and liberating him from this material world. So therefore, Krishna says in the 11th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam that Acharyam mam vijaniyam navamanyeta karhichit namartya buddhya suyeta sarva devamayo guruhu. such a Sadguru, such a spiritual master, such a bona fide spiritual master who is coming in the disciplic succession of these 12 Mahajanas, like somebody like His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Krishna is saying, Acharyam Maham Vijaniyam. Such a spiritual master should be considered as good as the Supreme Lord Krishna himself. Why? Because he is the direct representative of Krishna. And therefore, it is the duty of the disciple to treat the spiritual master as good as Krishna. He has to respect him and he has to follow his instructions exactly in the same way as he would follow Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is Krishna's personal instruction. And he says, Krishna says, one on the positive way, he says that Acharyam Mam Vijaniyam. You should consider the Acharya to be as good as me, he says. And then on the negative side, he says, Na avamanyeta karhichit. The instruction of the spiritual master should never be neglected. Like if Krishna gives an instruction, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we should never neglect it. We should always follow it. Similarly, spiritual master's instruction also should never be neglected. It should always be followed. Namartya buddhya suyeta. One should not falsely think that the spiritual master is martya, is a conditioned living entity like me. He is a living entity like me who is martya, who will one day die. Martya buddhya asuyeta. This is such a thinking arises because of enviousness. If somebody's heart is filled with envy towards the spiritual master, oh, everybody is worshipping Prabhupada, everybody is glorifying Prabhupada as the spiritual master. So if somebody becomes envious of Prabhupada's position and he starts saying that no, Prabhupada is dead and gone, so how can he initiate anybody now? That is a sign of envy. That how Prabhupada can alone be the spiritual master, why I cannot be spiritual master? So this is forbidden. One cannot think that the spiritual master like Srila Prabhupada is mortal, that he can die. You see, this is very, very serious, very big offense. Na martya buddhya asuyeta. One should not be envious of the spiritual master and consider that he will die, he is dead and gone. Prabhupada may not be physically present with us, but that does not limit him from injecting spiritual knowledge in our hearts, lighting the lamp of knowledge in our hearts, and removing our blindness of ignorance due to the illusory energy, and initiating us into devotional service and taking us back to Godhead. Prabhupada can very well do all these functions even today, although he may not be physically present with us. Physical presence, completely spiritual personality like Srila Prabhupada is never limited by mundane considerations of time, space, and physical body. Prabhupada doesn't need a physical body to act in the life of a living entity and to initiate him, act as his spiritual master, act as his Diksha Guru and take him back to Godhead. There is nothing which can prevent Prabhupada from doing that function. So, namartya buddhya sweta. This is the direct instruction of Krishna. One should never become envious of a personality like Srila Prabhupada and think that he is a person who is martya, who is dead. And Krishna further says, Sarva Deva Mayo Guruhu. Such a personality like Prabhupada is the sum total of all the devatas. You may go to one devata for something. You may go to Lord Shiva for seeking one kind of blessing. Go to Ganesha for some other kind of blessing. You may go to Durga for some other kind of blessing. But you come to a spiritual master like Srila Prabhupada, he is the sum total of all the devatas. He is the sum total of all the demigods. Whatever function other demigods can perform, a personality like Prabhupada can perform. Why? Because he is a representative of Krishna, and Krishna is the source of all the devatas. And so therefore, the spiritual master, because he is the representative of Krishna, therefore, he is the sum total of all the demigods. These are the statements of the Bhagavatam. So the position of the Guru is very, very exalted. Nobody, no conditioned soul can take that position of a Mahajana like Srila Prabhupada. Only an Uttamadhikari Vaishnava can occupy that position. And therefore, a disciple always feels that the quantum of gratitude that he feels in his heart, he feels, I can never repay my debt to my spiritual master. Naivopayanti apachitam kavayas tavesha brahmayushapi kritam mriddhamudaha smarantaha. So this is what Uddhava said in the 11th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Uddhava, after hearing transcendental instructions given by Krishna to Uddhava before Krishna left the world, left the planet. So Krishna gave his final instructions to Uddhava. At that time, Maitreya Rishi also happened to be there at that time. So after hearing all the instructions of Krishna, which is given in the 11th canto of the Bhagavatam, which is known as the Uddhava Gita, Uddhava said, Naivopayanti apachitim. Upayanti means it is not possible to describe apachitim, our gratitude to you, my Lord. Even with Brahmayushapi, even with the Ayu of Brahma, even with the lifespan of Brahma, if I keep trying to repay your debt, I will never be able to repay your debt. For such a long period of time, I keep trying, I will not be able to repay your debt. Why? Yo antar bahis tanubhritam. So you are internally situated as Paramatma in the living entity's hearts, and externally also Acharya Chaitya Vapusha Swagatim Yanakti. You are externally situated as Acharya, and internally you are seated as Paramatma, and Swagatim Yanakti. You are guiding us how to come back to your abode, the Vaikuntha Dhamma, how to go back to Vaikuntha, how to go back to Godhead. You are constantly guiding us in the form of the Acharya externally and as Paramatma within the heart. Yo antar bahis tanubhritam ashubham midhunvan. And you are cleansing all the ashubha, inauspicious things in the life of a conditioned soul. What is the greatest inauspiciousness in the life of a conditioned soul? The bodily concept of life. Firmly convinced that I am this body, I am a man, I am a woman, I am an Indian, I am a human being, I am an American, I am Christian, I am Muslim. These kind of thinking that I am so and so based on the body is the biggest inauspicious thing in our life. So all the inauspicious things, beginning with the bodily concept of life, all of that is destroyed by the Supreme Lord acting as Paramatma and as Acharya. So as the Chaitya Guru, he is Paramatma within the heart, and externally he is the Acharya like Srila Prabhupada. So why Krishna has to take the form of the Acharya and come before us? Why Krishna has to send his representative, Srila Prabhupada? Because we cannot see Paramatma within our heart. Paramatma is there within our heart, but we cannot see him. We cannot hear him. We are not pure enough to be able to directly communicate with the Paramatma. So therefore, Krishna sends somebody like Prabhupada. So Prabhupada is a representative of Krishna. He is as good as Krishna himself. And therefore, if we establish a relationship with Prabhupada, then that relationship which we have with Prabhupada, that Prabhupada is my Guru, he is my Diksha Guru, I am his disciple, and I am surrendered to him lifetime after lifetime, Janme Janme Prabhu se. Then what happens is that relationship with Prabhupada as our Diksha Guru is as good as our relationship with Krishna. You see, such a exalted responsibility a Guru like Prabhupada is performing. Therefore, no ordinary conditioned soul can perform this. I establish my relationship with Prabhupada. That relationship is as good as my original relationship with Krishna. There is no difference. You see? And so therefore, the spiritual masters, the debt that we owe to us, our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, can never be repaid. Because he has re-established our relationship with Krishna simply by performing the role of a spiritual master in our lives. This is the greatness of Srila Prabhupada. And so therefore, Devahuti is also saying here that Tasya tvam tamaso andhasya dushparasya adya paragam. Oh my Supreme, she is speaking to Kapila Dev, her own son. But Kapila Dev is an incarnation of Krishna, and therefore she has accepted him as her spiritual master. And so she is saying, Tasyatvam Tamaso Andhasya, the same thing. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya. So your lordship is my only means of getting out of this darkest region of ignorance. So for us also, the only way we can get out of the darkness of ignorance of this material world and go back to Godhead is Prabhupada. There is no other way. And she says, because why? Because he is Satchakshur. He is, you are my transcendental I. So our transcendental I is Srila Prabhupada. And which Janmanamante labdam me tvad anugrahat. The transcendental I, Devotee is saying, which by your mercy only I have attained after many, many births. That means in our case also, we have also attained only by Prabhupada's mercy. We have attained the transcendental I. After many, many births, we have attained this. The same thing for us also. So Devavati is actually, she is a great exalted personality. She is the wife of Kardamamuni, mother of Kapila Deva, an incarnation of Krishna. So she is not an ordinary personality. She has to be a liberated personality. But she is playing the role of all of us, conditioned souls. This is actually our position. Therefore, just like Devahuti is seeing Kapila Deva, Devahuti was very fortunate to get Kapila Deva, the Supreme Lord himself, as her spiritual master. Just like Arjuna also. He also was very fortunate because he is already liberated personality. He is a pure devotee. He got Krishna as his supreme, as his spiritual master. Shishyasteham Shadimam Tuam Prapannam. So Arjuna says to Krishna that I am surrendering to you as your disciple. Shishyasteham. I am your disciple, you are my spiritual master. Now please instruct me. So Arjuna was very fortunate because he is also a liberated personality, a pure devotee. He could have Krishna directly as a spiritual master. So Devahuti, Arjuna, they got Krishna as the supreme personality, as they got Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead, as their spiritual master. For us, we have got Srila Prabhupada performing the same role, and exactly the way Arjuna and Devahuti looked upon Krishna and Kapila Dev, we also have to look at Srila Prabhupada. Sakshad Haritvena. We have to see him as not an ordinary Martya Buddhya Suyeta. We should not see him as an ordinary personality. And when we say we should not see him as an ordinary personality, it also means that we should not try to imitate him or try to take his position. That, oh, Prabhupada gave Diksha to so many people, then I can also give. This is Martya Buddhya Suyeta. This is envy. That why only Prabhupada? I should also be able to play that role. We cannot. Prabhupada is a completely, he's a totally different personality. He is not one of us. He is the representative of Krishna. He is as good as Krishna, Sakshad Haritvena. There is no difference between our relationship with Prabhupada and our relationship with Krishna. So therefore, we cannot, no ordinary living entity can play the role of Diksha Guru. It is reserved only for Prabhupada. So therefore, just like Devahuti is feeling, what is her feeling, her relationship with Kapila Deva? She is saying, you are my only means of getting out of this darkest region of ignorance. So for us also, the only means to get out of this darkest region of ignorance is the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. So therefore, the personal life of Devahuti is a great instruction for all of us, how we have to approach our relationship with Prabhupada. And if we take the same mood as Devahuti is taking, that Prabhupada is my only means of getting out of this cycle of repeated birth and death within this material world, and it is only by Prabhupada's mercy that my transcendental I has been opened up, which I have got after many, many births, then, only then, we can hope to get liberated from this material world and achieve the lotus feet of Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan. So I'll stop here. If there are any questions or comments, we can discuss. Hare Krishna.
So we see that generally, previously in one of your lectures also you have mentioned that how generally devotees as they start practicing Krishna consciousness, after 10 years they won't have the same consciousness or the consciousness changes. But in case of Uttam Adhikari like Prabhupada, that even during the 90s, 40s and till even at the end of his life, 1977, when he was about to physically unmanifest his pastime, so that time same consciousness was there. His view was never changing. So in this way, a pure devotee is eternally living through his books. Even now we can take and read, and he is still living there. Eternally he is living.
Yes.
He is conscious. So in case this we can understand, but Prabhupada, in case we see that in form of deity, in so many of our ISKCON temple is present. And just like the tattva of Krishna, we see that he is reciprocating through various means.
Yes.
Somebody goes and prays, he is reciprocating. Either in such and such platform he will reciprocate, or by giving some arrangement. So similarly, Prabhupada is also reciprocating to us. So an ordinary jiva cannot do this. So what is the tattva actually? We cannot, just like we cannot understand the Dr. Fox philosophy, Prabhupada says, that one cannot understand from this wealth the entire ocean,
Yes.
the Supreme Personality. So similarly, what is the tattva of the, is it not possible for us to understand the tattva of Guru? Because as ordinary jiva
No, it's not that we cannot understand. Prabhupada has explained what is the tattva of Guru. When we say Guru Tattva means the Guru is a representative of Krishna, 100% representative of Krishna. So when I say representative, if I have to represent you, right? If I say I am Ashwat's representative, or I am XYZ's representative, so I can say I am your representative only if you authorize me to become your representative. I cannot come and claim that I am representing him without your authorization, right? You have to appoint me as your representative, then only I can act as your representative. So Guru means one who is a representative of Krishna, right? So if Guru has to be a representative of Krishna, then he has to be appointed by Krishna directly. Otherwise, how can he claim to be a representative of Krishna? So Guru Tattva means Guru is a representative of Krishna. In other words, he is a person who is appointed directly by Krishna. So this is the simple thing. And therefore, whatever he says is as good as what Krishna says. So there is no difference between what Prabhupada says and what Krishna is saying. There cannot be any difference. And therefore, his words, na avamanyeta karhichit, his instructions can never be neglected. So this is simple Guru Tattva. Guru Tattva is very simple. The Guru is the representative of Krishna. He has to be Sakshat Haritvena, he has to be considered as good as Krishna, and therefore only an Uttamadhikari can play that role. So it's a simple thing.
So this, just like our deities, or whenever or Krishna, wherever we pray, they are able to see. So this is this, like just like in Bhagavatam it is said in that same, I think if I remember correctly, in that conversation that Yamaraj was telling that because by the grace of the Paramatma, that he is able to know the Papa and Punya of the Jivas. So similarly, our spiritual master also is acting in that way, that Paramatma or Krishna is directly giving that, or simultaneously present everywhere.
Spiritual master is getting direct instructions from Krishna. So whatever the spiritual master needs to know, the Paramatma will inform him. So he is not Paramatma. Spiritual master is not Paramatma, that he has to know each and everything whatever is happening in this world. But because he is directly communicating with the Paramatma will give him whatever knowledge is required for him to perform that role of the spiritual master. So in that sense, that is why we say Sakshat Haritvena. He is not Hari himself, but he is Sakshat Haritvena. He is as good as Krishna. That is how we have to understand. Okay? So we'll stop here. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.